Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another match here on WWE 2K25. This one is the D'Angelo family up against the System. And this is going to be the debut of two brand new talents into SWE. We have used Tony D'Angelo before, but never have we used Channing Stacks Lorenzo or Luca Crusifino. So a great opportunity for these two to show what they can do. I don't think this is a real stable anymore. I think these guys are broken up. But to be honest, this is the best way we could squeeze all three of them into our shows, because I don't know what I'd do with these three as singles competitors, to be honest. But as a group, it still works out pretty well for us. So yeah, debuts for both Channing and Luca, and also the debut of these guys as a group. We are adding them into the tag team rankings. Even though they're not together anymore, it still makes sense for us to keep track of their tag team activities. And they're facing off today against the System, one of the main groups in TNA at this point in time, led by Moose. Let's have a quick look and see where Moose is on our ranking system. He has had 5 matches so far and sits on -1. He's actually +3 for the year, so he was doing pretty badly up until then. Yeah, he's +3 for the year. He's -1 overall. I'm not a massive fan of Moose, to be honest, but I do think he should be a lot higher than that. And he's going to be flanked then by the System members, Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers. We're going to be utilising these guys as a tag team for the first time ever as well, so the System will now be added to the tag team rankings. And in the singles rankings, what do we have? So, Kurt Hawkins, or Brian Myers, is on +3 after 7 matches. And Eddie Edwards is on -3 after 3 matches. Wow, Eddie Edwards has had 2 matches in 2021, 1 match in 2022, and he's lost all 3 of them. So a big opportunity for Eddie today to showcase what he can do. And this will be a 6-man tag elimination match. So basically, the winning team will all receive 1 point each of the ranking system. But we're also giving out bonus points for each elimination. So if you pin or submit one of your opponents, you will gain a bonus point. So there's 4 points up for grabs in this one. If you get all 3 eliminations and win the match, you get 4 points. That could be massive. That could be a complete turnaround for someone like Eddie Edwards, who's on -3 at the moment. If he eliminates all 3 of his opponents and wins the match, he'll go up to a +1 in one foul swoop. It's a massive, massive boost for anyone here. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how the hell it goes. So I believe the rules are no count-outs. I think there are disqualifications, but it is full scan anywhere. I should know this. I made this match, but to be honest, it was a while ago when I made it, so I'm still just trying to figure my life out, to be honest with you. And at the moment, it is looking like a strong start for the System. Brian Myers working over Luca Crusifino. Moose did have control over Channing Stacks Lorenzo, but he was able to turn that around. But now Eddie Edwards taking control, and the System are looking pretty decent. I believe the System, after looking at the old Wikipedia page, which is my entire job at this point in time, are former TNA Tag Team Champions, so they are a decent team together. Don't get me wrong though, if I had the choice, I'd much rather have the American Wolves. I miss Davey Richards, I really do. Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards were an absolutely fantastic team. I wonder if we could use them in... I've got a tag team tournament coming up soon, but I think already we've got the best teams we possibly can. I don't know, let me have a quick look. When were the American Wolves a thing? I think they were the 2010s, but if they were the 2000s, I might be able to get away with it. American Wolves players, that's football. American Wolves, tag team. There we go. So the American Wolves started wrestling together in 2008 and went through all the way through the 2010s as well. Okay. So potentially we could squeeze them in. I'm just trying to think. So basically what I've got planned out is a tag team tournament where we're going to have 8 teams from each decade. So we've got 8 teams from the 70s, 8 from the 80s, 8 from the 90s, from the 2000s, 2010s and the 2020s. The winners of a knockout for each decade, if that makes sense. So the 8 teams in that decade will have a knockout tournament. The 6 winners will then go up against each other in a round-robin style tournament. So, I mean, for the 2000s, we've currently got the Briscoe Brothers, America's Most Wanted, Beer Money, Los Guerreros, Motor City Machine Guns, the APA, the kings of wrestling and the world's greatest tag team, I wouldn't be... You know what? We can't. Because we've got Beer Money and America's Most Wanted. That is 2 tag teams that both have James Storm. And therefore, I am going to switch out America's Most Wanted for the American Wolves. There we go. Perfect. That works out pretty well, actually, then. Nice. For 2010s, then we've got the Usos, DIY, the New Day, War Machine, the Young Bucks, Undisputed Era, FTR, and the Lucha Brothers. 2020s is a little bit open. I'm going to wait until we get around to doing the tournament to decide who we're going to use for that one. The 1990s, we've got the Hardys, the Eliminators, Edge and Christie, and the Holy Demon Army, the Dudley Boys, Harlem Heat, the Outsiders, the New Age Outlaws. The 80s have the Road Warriors, the Von Erichs, the Rock and Roll Express, the Midnight Express, the Heart Foundation, the Freebirds, the British Bulldogs, and Demolition. What a group that is. That is mad. And then the 70s are the Funks, the Valiants, the Briscoes, Crusher and Dick the Bruiser, the Anderson Brothers, the Wild Samoans, the Blackjacks, and Giant Baba and Jumbo Saruta. I'm looking forward to doing that tournament now. It's going to be really fun. It is going to be really fun. At the moment, for the 2020s, then I'm penciled in at the moment with the House of Black, Fraxium, the Acclaimed, the Street Profits, Aussie Open, the Gorillas of Destiny, the Creed Brothers, and the Grizzled Young Vets. I don't know if that's what we're going to go ahead with or not, but that's what ChatGPT suggested. But when we get around to doing the tournament, I might just do whoever the tag team champions are for the various companies around the world. The AEW tag champs, the WWE, the NXT, the TNA, the AAA, the New Japan, whatever it's going to be. And that might be the best way of doing it. But we'll see how it comes when we get to it. Moose now, look at that big dive over the top, but Tony D'Angelo was able to move out of the way. Camera work incredible here. Only the best camera work in SWE. There's the power slam there by Moose going in with a pin. Remember, it is Falls Count anywhere. It's only a 1 count. Shining now with a boot in the back of Moose, who's now back up on his feet. And Moose sent straight into the barricade there by Channing Stacks Lorenzo. Luca went for the dive to the outside. Eddie Edwards slid back in the ring and was able to avoid it. Edwards now taking Lorenzo up onto the shoulders. There's the power slam, but Tony D'Angelo was there to break it up with the kendo stick as well. Really powerful that was. D'Angelo there with a kendo stick once again against Eddie Edwards, now going to the outside to meet Moose again. I think that's going to be the big thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, all 3 members of the system are pretty damn strong. I think Brian Myers might be the weak link in that situation, but he's still very, very strong nonetheless. So I feel like if they can, if the family can eliminate Moose, that's going to be the big one to really, really help them. And then again, whoever's eliminated first is going to leave their team at a massive numbers disadvantage, which is not... It's not uncatchable. We've seen it before, where it is catchable, but it's still not ideal. Eddie Edwards with a low blow right in front of the referee. Of course, it is no disqualification. Doesn't matter at all. There's the pin by Eddie. Referee very, very slow. Referee was really, really slow there. I'm not quite sure what he was up to there at all. Is this Eddie Edwards' only opportunity to showcase what he can do this week? It is. This is Eddie Edwards' only match this week. Moose, of course, will be involved in the War Games match on Sunday, representing Team TNA alongside Frankie Kazarian, Leon Slater, and Santana. Did I book Santana in a singles match? I'm sure I did, didn't I? No, I didn't. I was planning on booking Santana in a singles match. I've obviously forgotten to do that. But I don't really want to add any more matches because I'm already overdoing it this week. Hit by Moose. Oh, it's only a 2. The referee is really slow counting everyone today. Really, really slow counting everyone. And potentially I could add... interesting. Moose now spine busted by Tony D'Angelo again, only a 1 count. Just trying to think if we can fit Santana in because I do feel like he does deserve a match. I mean, Tony D'Angelo gets in the match. He is booked in on Friday to face off against Enzo Amore, the realest one versus the Don. Nice German suplex there. And now Brian Myers working over the back of Luca Crusifino. There's a pin attempt now by Channing Stacks Lorenzo on Brian Myers. Myers looked out of it on his face, but he was able to survive just about. Yeah, I don't know where we put Santana. I don't even know who Santana should face, to be honest. Who's a good opponent for Santana? That's the question. Lovely boot in the face there by Moose. Taking down Lorenzo. Now trying to work over D'Angelo, who caught him with the belly to belly. And now going after Eddie Edwards as well. And look at Luca just slamming the boot into the chest and the stomach there of Moose, doing some big damage. There's the pin. It's only a 2 count. Yeah, I don't even know who would suit facing Santana, to be honest. I'm leaning towards Shawn Spears again, but Spears has already had a couple of opportunities. Who's actually on the NXT roster? That's the big question these days, isn't it, really? WWE, NXT. I mean, who would even suit? I mean, no one I can see that really rings out to me. Still no eliminations in this match, by the way. They're still going at it. Lexus King, maybe. We haven't got a Lexus King, but maybe just got a chance to use him, maybe. Not a massive fan of Lexus King, necessarily, to be honest, but... As Luca now wrenching back at the arm. And dropping the knees right into the spine. I mean, Lexus King might be a shout just because we haven't used him. Might just be the best option, to be honest. Unless you guys can think of anyone else. There's Josh Briggs we haven't booked either, but I don't know bugger all about Josh Briggs and where he sits. Is Brooks Jensen on the game as well? I don't really know where to put Brooks Jensen either. They're two guys I know very little about, so I don't really have anything designed for them. Nice dive to the outside there by Moose, flattening Lorenzo. Here's the pin now. We're not going to be able to see it. Oh, we do see it now. Luca's going to run round. Referee got there really slowly, in fairness, and I don't know. I think it might have been enough if the referee was there quickly enough. But he wasn't, so bugger it. And Santana versus Lexus King. Not really a fan of Lexus King, to be honest. I think he's trying to live off of his father's legacy, but not at the same time. It's a bit crazy. There's a pin, though, by Luca Crusifino on Moose, and that's enough. Moose is gone. Wow. That is a big elimination. The strongest member of the group is gone. Luca Crusifino then gets himself a bonus point for the elimination. And, of course, Moose does not lose a point yet. He'll only lose a point if the team lose the match altogether. So he's obviously living on the success of the other two at the moment. But the numbers game now is going to be very much against it. It's almost like a 3-on-1 there on the other side of the ring. D'Angelo now bringing Myers back up to his feet. There's a punch straight in the face. As Luca Crusifino, look at these elbow strikes inside the ring. Really impressive moveset. Taking Edwards up on the shoulder. The inverted Death Valley driver into the knee in the face. There's the pin, but Brian Myers is going to get it to break it up just in time. And Brian Myers now with a gut wrench onto the shoulder. There's the power slam. Again, he could go for the pin, but I just don't think at this point it's going to be enough with both Luca and Tony D'Angelo outside the ring, just sort of hanging around the place. Eddie Edwards throwing the stop side into the face of Luca. I mean, this could be a chance here. If Eddie Edwards can pin... No, Tony D'Angelo smartly rolls to the outside. If he got the pin there, they could have evened up the numbers, and it might have had an opportunity for the system to turn this around. Brian Myers now attacked by Luca Crusifino. Channing absolutely flattens Brian Myers with the clothesline. There's the pin. And there, no. Eddie Edwards just about got there in time to break it up. And look at the boot right in the side of their head now by Channing Stacks Lorenzo, and all of a sudden Tony D'Angelo back in the ring as well. The numbers game is solely in favour of the family at this point. It's going to take one hell of a strong few moves for this match to be turned around and for the system to have any chance here of pulling this one off. There's the pin by D'Angelo. Brian Myers back in the ring, but he's just far too slow, and Tony D'Angelo eliminates Eddie Edwards. That's who it was. Tony D'Angelo eliminates Eddie Edwards. He moves up to a +1 after 3 matches, and it's just going to be a matter of time now, isn't it? There's the curb stomp by Channing Stacks Lorenzo. Big German suplex as well. Remember, whoever gets his final pin is going to get a point. And I think from fairness point of view, it might be worth letting old Channing have it. He does go in for the pin, for the 1, for the 2. Tony D'Angelo's just broken the pin up. Interesting. I mean, there's no chance that Brian Myers is going to pull this one off, let's face it. But it's a 3-on-1 situation. It gets really messy when this happens as well, by the way. It really gets messy. Because everyone starts to swing, everyone starts to try and get involved, and it's an absolute mess. Lorenzo bringing Brian Myers back up the center base. Brian Myers now with a dragon screw taking down D'Angelo. Lorenzo sending Myers over the top, crashing to the outside, and D'Angelo's back up on his feet. It's still 3-on-1. And there's the dive to the outside by D'Angelo, and the shovel in the head by Lorenzo. There's the pin for the 1, for the 2, and the 3. It's 1 elimination each for the new D'Angelo team. Channing Stacks Lorenzo. I was wrong. Stacks Lorenzo has wrestled before. Okay, he wrestled once last year. Okay, I'll take it all back then. I'll take everything back. Channing Stacks Lorenzo then with that point, and the bonus point, and the victory now gets up to a +2 from 2 matches. Tony D'Angelo gets the point for the victory. Of course, he's already got a bonus point for the elimination. Moves up to a +2 after 4. And Luca Crusifino gets himself a victory point, as well as the bonus point. Moves up to a +2 after 1. In the tag team division then as well, the family, Channing and D'Angelo, there we go, get a victory. They move up to a +1 after 1 match. The team of Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers, where are you? There you are, of the system, move down to a -1 after 1 match as a tag team. And in the singles division then, Eddie Edwards continues his descent. 4 matches, 4 losses now. So he goes on to -4, which is not great at all. Moose, with that loss, moves down to a -2 after 6 matches. And finally, Brian Myers, with that loss, is going to move down to a 2 after 8 matches. So not great at all. And I really thought the system would pull this one off. I thought they should be the favourite for this one, but it has been an NXT victory for the family. Well, there we go. That is the end of the matches for today. Hope you've enjoyed. We've got some more lined up for you tomorrow. Tomorrow we've got the... I had the next one tomorrow, didn't I? I did, yeah, okay. Tomorrow we've got Zaruka, the debut of the team of Zarya and Sol Ruka, taking on VXT, Chelsea Green and Deonna Purrazzo in a women's tag team match. Seth Rollins goes one-on-one with Christopher Daniels. We thought we'd have a little bit of a run with some legends from NXT and TNA. Killer Kelly takes on Masha Slamovich in a women's underground #1 contendership match. We'll also see Blake Monroe going up against Ash by Elegance, a bit of glamour versus elegance. And we'll finish the day off with a 5-man elimination match between 5 guys that have held both the NXT Championship and the TNA Championship. That is Samoa Joe, Trick Williams, Bobby Roode, Nick Nemeth, and Drew McIntyre. Well, there we go. That is everything. I hope you've enjoyed. Of course, if you have, hit the like, subscribe, and the good stuff, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Good night.